probably one more very important topic for prelims, banking and RBI, before we go to taxation, fiscal policy, budgeting. So in banking, if you look at previous year questions, themes, so regularly repeated question in UPSC Prelims is actually types of banks. So in types of banks, specifically they're asking scheduled bank, non-scheduled bank, small finance bank, payment banks. So core operations of the banks, developmental, commercial, cooperative, RRBs, type and the nature and their core operations. One of the regular themes for prelims is what small finance bank does, what payment bank does, comparison. So what is the difference between the two? So who can issue debit cards, who can issue credit cards, who can actually accept demand deposit, who can accept time deposit. This is one of the regular themes, PYQ themes. And most of the questions are from this concept called loans and advances, where types of assets, secured loan, unsecured loan, NPA, substandard, doubtful, bad asset, haircut, write-off, waive off. So regular theme. And here only examiners three favorite topics. Basel norms, 1, 2, 3, CAR, capital adequacy ratio. Along with that, so in the recent times, insolvency, bankruptcy code, bad bank is new again. So if you look at, so what are the various steps to address NPA crisis? Now twin balance sheet problem, twin balance sheet advantage, haircut. So these are one more thing. Apart from that, UPSC is also interested many times in asking what is negotiable instrument, what is non-negotiable instrument, how is negotiable, non-negotiable is decided. So if you look at probably bank consolidation, merger, acquisition, and recent current affairs. So one of the regular question was BBB, Bank Board Bureau. So insolvency, bankruptcy code, clarity is important again. Waterfall clause, how it is being organized. Then sometimes they're asking questions from functions of RBI and reports of RBI. And as we discussed in RBI chapter, you need to get clarity between M1, M2, M3, M4 monetary aggregates, narrow money, broad money. So what is considered, what is not considered. M1, M2, M3, M4 are called as money aggregates. So after that we covered something called money multiplier, already we covered. Inflation chapter only we covered money multiplier. So reports released by RBI, bi-monthly monetary policy review, consumer confidence survey. If you're following the newspaper, current affairs, fiscal health index in the news, fiscal health index. So reports released by RBI and what is the purpose of the reports and the frequency of the reports. So apart from that, if you look at one of the previous year questions from RBI is minimum reserve system. Somewhere we covered this minimum reserve system, fiduciary money, fiat money, legal tender money. Remember? So there we discuss something called minimum reserve system. Minimum reserve system of RBI. Then sometimes banking sector committee reforms. Which committee is related to which sector specific reforms? Like Narsimhan committee. So Shivaraman committee, Urjit Patel committee. So current affairs related to the banking sector committee, PJ Nayak committee. Probably when you're reading the compilation of current affairs, whichever you should need. And some changes. Payment and settlement systems is one of the examiner's favorite topic. What is payment and settlement systems? RTGS, NEFT, IMPS, UPI, UPI 123 pay. So last year also they asked a question about how RTGS work, how NEFT works. Payment and settlement systems, all of us are using internet banking, mobile banking, e-banking. When you open your internet banking password, you will get different options. RTGS, NEFT, IMPS, APPSC, all this. Before we go to banking, so one of the financial market term only, which is called as short selling. So what is this short selling? This also we can expect because of Adani group of the companies issue. We might expect current affairs issue only. Hindenburg, one of the companies in US, told related to shares of Adani group of the companies, short selling was done. There was an allegation. Internal committee was appointed. But what is the meaning of short selling? See, generally, how do we get profit in an investment, I will invest, I will buy a company share with expectation that it would increase in the future. I can make profit. That is my expectation generally in an investment. I am buying your company share with the expectation that your share price is going to increase in the future. So I can make profit generally. But what is short selling? I don't have shares. So I will borrow shares from somebody else. This is not my share. I am borrowing the shares of somebody else. I am selling it. Did I sell my own share? No. I place an order. I place an order to buy something. So which means this is the share of somebody else. But I borrowed their shares and I placed an order for 100 rupees. Okay. Now in the market, what happened? Because I placed an order for 100 rupees, which means I will get 100 rupees. I expect that the share price is going to decrease in the future. That's the reason why I borrowed shares of my friend. I borrowed 1000 shares of my friend and he is not investing. I am selling his shares in the market. So I placed an order. I know very well, I had a prior information, or according to my analysis, I know that the share price is going to decrease. Now, I sold it for 100 rupees. When share price decreases to 80 rupees, I sold at higher price. Later, I am buying at lower price. Did I sell my share? No. I borrowed my friend's share. I placed an order for selling. After share price decreases, I am buying it back. So what is the profit that I made? When I sold at higher price. I am buying at lower price. This is called short selling. After this, I am giving back my shares to my friend on the evening. Somebody else's shares I am borrowing. According to my analysis, share price is going to increase. So first, I will sell that share at higher price, and as price starts falling, I will buy it later. Meaning, look at the opposite strategy. What is the opposite strategy? Buy at lower price, sell at higher price in the future expected. This is what generally what we do in case of any investment. You buy at low price, wait for long time. After that share price increases, you try to sell it. But this is white color short selling. I am in short of the ownership of this share. I am not the original owner. I am borrowing temporarily for the time being somebody else's shares. Even though I don't have ownership, I am using somebody else's. I am selling with the specific analysis that the price is going to decrease in the future. So how did I make profit? I sold it at higher price. I am buying at lower price. Selling at higher price, buying at lower price, is profit for me or not? Profit. That's the reason why it's called as short selling. So this was actually written by Hindenburg in his report against Adani group of the companies. It became a big issue. They told no CBI investigation is required. CBI internal committee only would investigate all that. But what is the meaning of short selling? It's an unconventional investment strategy where borrowing the shares of somebody else and selling at higher price and buying them when share price decreases to make the profit. Sir, in future, what if share price does not fall? It will fall, that's all. Risk is there. There also risk is there. Sir, what if share price happens 120 later? Risk is involved. So obviously you are damn sure that the share price is going to fall according to your understanding, your analysis, so you are taking the risk. So it's like you can make big profit at the same time. You should be ready to take responsibility because it is not your share. You borrowed from your friend, you have to give it back them. That's why that is called short selling. Which means in simple, your friend borrowed money from you today morning and he gave that money at higher rate of interest to somebody else. By evening, he collected his money from somebody else and gave it back to you. So he made profit because of your money. I borrowed 5,000 rupees from you today morning. I told you evening I'll return 5,500. What I'll do with that money is not your business. I gave same 5,000 rupees to somebody else at high rate of interest for 6,500. And that fellow paid me 6,500. I made 1,000 rupees profit. I gave back your 5,000 and 500 extra. So this is only they are doing in the stock market, which is called as short selling. But what is the risk? I gave 5,000 rupees at 1,500 rate of interest to somebody. That fellow jumped. He did not repay. Then I should have the capacity to repay money to you. That is the problem with the short selling. If you have capacity to repay, you can take the risk. If you don't have the capacity to repay, it is a big profit or loss, both are there. But it is again the normal conventional strategy, that's what it's called as short selling. Probably in the news, we might expect front running also, short selling also. Okay? So a person is borrowing the shares of somebody else and selling at high price, expecting that share price would fall in the future to make the profit because of the difference. How, sir? Suppose I borrowed 1,000 shares of my friend, this much money I'll get. When share prices decreases, if I buy them, I will get more number of shares for the same money. Because I sold at higher price. Later when share price is decreasing, I am buying at lower price. But again, purely depend upon the risk taking capacity of the investors. Which strategy would work for them? Probably that is their choice only. Somebody would go for day trading, somebody would go for portfolio, somebody would say why all this nonsense mutual fund. It purely depend upon risk taking strategy. Okay. Now coming to banking, specifically in banking, probably this is one of the examiner's favorite topic again. RTGS, NEFT, IMPS, UPI, UPI 123 pay, BEAM. Very simple questions are. RTGS is available 24/7, NEFT is available 24/7, something like that. So first and foremost, concept is important. Many times question asked, what is the difference between bank and NBFC? So these are repeated themes in banking chapter. So first we will be covering very fundamental concept called bank and NBFC. Now Banking Regulation Act 1949 says bank is a financial intermediary which registers or which performs three core functions: accepting deposits, both demand deposit as well as time deposit, giving loans and advances, clearing negotiable instrument. So that is called as bank, registered under Banking Regulation Act 1949. What is non-banking financial corporation? They are registered under Companies Act. They are authorized, clarity is important, they are authorized to accept only demand deposit. They are not, no, they are authorized only to accept term deposit. They are not authorized to accept demand deposits. They can give loans and advances, but they cannot clear negotiable instrument because they are not part of clearinghouse mechanism of RBI. What do you mean of clearinghouse? With all digital negotiable instruments clearing mechanism of check and DD, we have a well-established digital infrastructure network of RBI called CBS, Core Banking Solutions. So this is the comparison of bank versus NBFC. Credit card can be issued by both banks as well as NBFCs. Come on here. Intama? Oh, no. Credit card is loan and advance. Correct. And I'm saying credit card is a loan. Both bank also can give, NBFC also can give. Do you understand what I'm saying? See, she's telling no, sir. Banks are accepted to only term deposits, sir. Oh, it's not compulsory. I have account in SBI. I have credit card in ICICI. I don't have an account with ICICI. She is thinking that if you have bank account, only credit card will be given with that bank. No, not necessarily. Definitely not. That's what I am saying. Savings account is a demand deposit. I don't have savings account with ICICI, but ICICI have given credit card to me. but I have bank account with SBI. Based on SBI statement analysis, credit card is given by ICICI. So look at the word. Loans and advances given by bank also. Loans and advances given by NBFC also. So what is the meaning of this? Credit card is advance and loan only. So credit card can be issued by both bank as well as NBFCs. Understood? So that's the way UPSC is showing their talent. One more. Term deposits are accepted by both bank as well as NBFC. Because definition itself says term deposits are accepted by both bank as well as NBFC. Up to this okay? Negotiable instruments clearing is done by only banks but not NBFCs. So there is a fundamental difference of banks and NBFC. Now let me simplify. ATM cards are issued by both banks as well as NBFCs. Come on, think and tell. You only said the answer earlier. What is the difference between debit card and ATM card? Sir, question. Okay, let me ask. Do you have ATM card here? Very nice. With which bank? SBI. See, initially, I'll tell you the reason. Initially, when banking business started, ATM card was used to only withdraw the money from ATM. That's why that is called as ATM card. Automated teller machine. It was not allowed for online shopping, debiting the transactions, expenditure. But later, because of the development of the e-commerce, I am using that card not only for withdrawing cash from ATM, but I am also using it for expenditure purpose. That is the reason why now there is no much difference between ATM card and a debit card. Why debit card, sir? All expenditure is going out. That's why debit. All incoming is credit. So if you spend money from your account, expenditure through swiping of your card, DR, that's why that is debit card. So over a period of time, now there is no difference between ATM card and debit card. Meaning of the word ATM card means to withdraw funds, the card is used. That's why that's called as ATM card. To do online shopping, to do any financial transaction, that card is being used instead of the money. That's why that is called as debit card. Now we are using the word ATM cum debit card. Why ATM cum debit card? You are withdrawing the cash also, you are spending also. That's why that is called as ATM cum debit card. Understood? What is credit card? I don't have the balance. I am taking advance for them. They are giving me 60 days to repay in the future. That's why that is called a credit card. Got the clarity? I can have a credit card with a bank. I need not have a bank account with that bank. I can have a credit card with a bank, but I may not have bank account with that bank. It's possible. Because you'll study something called civil score, which we are going to cover. Based on credit worthiness only they have given. So let's come to the question. Both banks and NBFCs can issue ATM cards. See, ATM cards are given to a person who is having a demand deposit account called savings account and current account. So if NBFC cannot accept demand deposit, how can they issue ATM card? NBFC cannot issue debit card because simple logic, NBFC cannot accept demand deposit. But why credit card can be issued? Because it's a loan in advance. Based on his repaying capacity, they can issue a credit card. Now got clarity? Banks can issue debit cards. NBFCs cannot issue debit cards. Accept it? Because debit card is given only when you have a demand deposit with the bank. Demand deposit is not allowed for NBFC. But who can issue credit card? Bank also, NBFCs also. Because loans and advances can be given by both. Now got clarity between what is bank and what is NBFC? However they play, you should be able to understand. Now look at. Whenever you talk about bank and NBFC, so they played with English. ATM services are offered by both banks as well as NBFCs. Earlier question was ATM cards. That's why UPSC trap. Earlier question was ATM card. See this, look at this statement. ATM services are offered by both banks as well as NBFCs. Yes, because you study something called brown label ATM, white label ATM. Brown label ATM is offered by bank, in which when you withdraw the money from ATM, bank logo, bank symbol is available. That's why that's called as brown label ATM. White label ATM is offered by NBFCs. You can withdraw the funds there also, but bank logo, bank label is not visible. That's why that is called as white label ATM. How about Tata IndiCash ATM? How about Tata IndiCash ATM? I can withdraw money from Tata IndiCash ATM, but Tata IndiCash is not a bank. So look at the clarity. Earlier question was who can issue ATM cards. This question is who can provide ATM services. Initially only banks were permitted to provide ATM services, but as part of financial inclusion, RBI said NBFC also can provide ATM services, but the rule is that 25% of branches should be compulsorily should be there in the rural area. Out of total ATMs that are run by NBFCs, 25% of ATMs should be established in rural unbanked areas. What do you mean of rural unbanked area? Where earlier ATM was not there. So look at the statement. Who can provide ATM services? Both banks as well as NBFCs. Who can issue ATM cards? Only banks. That is the clarity. Understood now? Because don't think that if you issue ATM card only you should offer ATM services. No. But interesting doubt. Sir, they don't have demand deposit. How will they fill the ATM, sir? They will take the cash from banks only and fill. Only operation maintenance is taken by NBFC. Tata IndiCash ATM is kept in Kachigoda railway station. Who will maintain that? NBFC will maintain. From where will they get the cash to fill the ATM? From bank only. But how does this NBFC will get service charges, commission charges? That's why if you withdraw money from ATM, freely how many times you can withdraw from the same ATM? Your home bank ATM? 3 times in metropolitan? 3 times or 5 times? So if you withdraw more than that, what would happen? Service charge. So that's how ATM services are different from issuing of the ATM cards. Now for full clarity, whatever they ask, we should be able to answer. Who can issue ATM cards? Only banks. Who can offer ATM services? Both banks and NBFCs. Who can issue credit cards? Both banks as well as NBFC, because it is loans and advances. So who is related to clearing of negotiable instruments? Only banks. Understood? So this is the fundamental difference between bank and NBFCs. So whenever we know about this simple concept, it will lead us to types of ATMs. Sometimes questions are asked. On-site ATM, off-site ATM, brown label ATM, white label ATM, pink label ATM, probably different types, and cash out ATM, because previous year question was this, brown label, white label, difference was asked. What is ATM? Automated teller machine. So anywhere, anytime, banking is possible to understand automated teller machine, which means what is automated? The voice inside the machine is automated. The girl who is sitting inside the ATM will keep on telling the same thing again and again and again. She will not come out. Automated teller machine. What is anywhere banking? You need not go to the bank branch in which you have bank account only. Anytime. Need not go in the banking hours only. You can withdraw any time. So anywhere, anytime banking is possible because of ATM. So I told debit card and ATM, clarity is there now. Initially card was given to only withdraw the money. That's why that was called as ATM card. Now same card is used for shopping also, expenditure also. That's why that is called as debit card. So debit all expenditure from my account. A card is used for swiping. That's why that is called as debit card. Now there is no difference between ATM and debit card because the word is ATM cum debit card. ATM cum debit card. Now on-site ATM, off-site ATM. What is on-site ATM? If ATM is located within the premises of the bank branch, that's called as on-site ATM. Look at any bank branch, opposite bank branch is there. In the bank branch associated only one ATM is there. On-site ATM. Off-site ATM. ATM is located far away from the bank branch. That's called as off-site ATM. Third-party ATM. What is third-party ATM? I do not have direct contact with the bank ATM. Meaning, I am having a bank account with SBI, but I am withdrawing money from Union Bank of India. Do I have direct relationship with Union Bank of India ATM? No. So which means I am a third party to them. But if I withdraw from SBI, my bank account is also with SBI. Home bank. But my account is in SBI Gandhinagar. If I withdraw from SBI Gandhinagar, home bank also, home branch also. Bank is SBI. Branch also where I have bank account only I am withdrawing. So if I withdraw money from SBI Gandhinagar Hyderabad where I have a bank account, home bank because I have account with SBI. Branch also I have an account, home bank, home branch. I am withdrawing in SBI Banjara Hills, home bank but non-home branch because I don't have bank account there. There is a deficit, there is a definite transaction limit, how much cash you can withdraw. You can withdraw how much amount you want in your branch office only. If you withdraw in non-branch offices, there is a definite transaction limit. You cannot withdraw how much cash you want in non-branch offices. Suppose I want to withdraw 15 lakhs. I can withdraw 15 lakhs in my home branch. But I have to give the reason also, of course. But I can't withdraw 15 lakh from non-home branch. There is a definite limit. Now got clarity? Third party ATM, home bank ATM, home bank branch ATM, non-bank ATM. Now UPSC twisted the question. Third party ATM can be brown label or white label. Is this statement correct? Third party ATM can be brown label or can be white label. Yes, third party means I don't have direct contact with them. If it is offered by a bank, brown label. If it is offered by NBFC, white label. Third party ATM does not mean that it is always white label because third party ATM can be bank ATM also. Now, brown label, white label, pink label. What is this pink label? In certain selected places to ensure women's safety, exclusively for offering services to women. So ATMs are offered with pink color ribbon. That's why that is called as pink label ATM. They are available. So just like in metro coach, first coach is reserved for ladies. Pink color ribbon is there in the middle, probably. Pink label. So it's not that only women, but to ensure women's safety in certain places, that ATM is also having security guards to ensure women's safety. That's the reason why pink label ATMs. Of course, not all women are innocent, but still security is available, security is offered to them, which means in this pink label ATM, not only CCTV camera, but there is a security guard also to ensure women's safety. That's called as pink label ATM. Now look at cash out ATM. In any ATM, for more than 1 month, if cash is not available for more than 15 hours, which means generally when you go to ATM, out of service board will come. Like that, in a month, for more than 15 hours, if cash is not available in the ATM, that's called as cash out ATM, for which RBI would impose penalty. See, cash is not available in the ATM. What does it mean? Customer is not getting the service deficiency only. That is called as cash out ATM. All ATM complaints should be resolved within 5 working days. Earlier it was 7 working days. Now RBI, as part of improving service efficiency, 5 working days. All ATMs are connected to one switch called National Financial Switch, managed by NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India. What is the trap? RTGS, NEFT are directly monitored by RBI because they are linked to CVS. Remaining all are looked after by whom? NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India. Now, so third party ATM can be brown label, can be white label. Now just now I said there is a new proposal of biometric ATM. What is this biometric ATM? What is this biometric ATM? Let's interlink Aadhaar biometric data with e-payment system. It's not compulsory to carry ATM card to withdraw the funds. You go and probably keep your eyes iris is taken as probably authentication hand. So biometric data is used for financial transactions which are called as biometric ATMs. Slowly they are becoming popular. Already in some of the cities biometric ATMs are there. Only thing, you should have updated your Aadhaar biometric data. చిన్నప్పుడెప్పుడో బాల ఆధార్ ఆ తర్వాత మళ్ళీ అప్డేట్ చేయలేదు. No, it will not accept. Shishu Aadhaar has to be updated to the adult Aadhaar in a span of 6 years. So 6 years పిల్లలు అయిన తర్వాత you have to go and apply for the adult Aadhaar probably. Which means Shishu Aadhaar or Bal Aadhaar was given even for first year, second year kid also. But at that time their fingerprints cannot be captured so effectively. After they attain the age of 6 years or below the completion, they have to upgrade their biometric, then biometric can be used. What is the advantage of biometric ATM? More authentication and safety. You know your friend ATM card, she is very good friend, she has written pin number also backside. She have taken her ATM card, you can withdraw the money. Because what is required to withdraw the money? Only pin number. But is it biometric ATM? You cannot take her fingerprints. If you want, you can take her hand along with you. But you cannot take. So that is the reason why we are moving towards more biometric ATMs. Then Hyderabad, Sikka gold coin ATM. Begum Bazaar, Sikka gold coin ATM. For the first time, gold coin ATM is offered in India. What is this gold coin ATM? Put the card inside and enter the amount. Equivalent gold coins would come out from the ATM. So first Sikka gold coin ATM available. So what is the use of gold coin? Gift or some special celebrations or occasions. Puja, worship, they use this. Gold coins, Lakshmi coins, all this. So first gold coin ATM is available in Hyderabad. So probably you can also use not only coin, entire ATM machine only. So what is the use of this? You need not go anywhere, just pay the equivalent amount. The gold coin would come out, silver coin would come out. First gold coin ATM near Begum Bazaar, it's called as Sikka gold coin ATM. Then Amul came up with anytime milk ATM. Apollo came with anytime medicine ATM. Then Haryana, they started green ATM, or you can say, just like when you go to airport, you can pay the money will go inside, whichever water bottle you want, it will come out. So disposable ATM, just like ATM machine only, chocolates will be there, water bottles will be there, cool drinks will be there inside the ATM machine. You have to pay money will go inside, whichever water bottle you want, it will come out. Whatever chocolate packet you want, it will come out. Exactly. Grain ATM, food grains are there, multi-grain food grains are there. So grain ATM was introduced in Haryana. What does it mean? You go, pay 100 rupees, ask half kg wheat along with the packet would come out. Multi-grain ATM. So during COVID-19 time, we came up with the micro ATM. What is this micro ATM? Instead of having that big machine of the ATM, so business correspondent model, mobile ATM, just like ambulance, inside that ATM machine would be there. It was going to the public place only. Because lockdown, you cannot move out. That was called as a micro ATM. So all these are related to ATMs. Probably whatever question comes, you should be able to answer. But very easy questions only are asked. Brown label, white label, third party, ATM complaints, difference between ATM and debit card, ATM and credit card. Now on this ATM card, if you observe carefully, Rupee, Master, Mastro. So these are called payment gateways. Earlier we used to depend upon payment gateway. So NPC developed India's own payment gateway called Rupee. So what is payment gateway? The third party which facilitate settlement of the digital transactions is called a payment gateway. So it's like bus stand platform in which operators are providing bus services, consumers are coming, for which a platform is created. Earlier, Visa, Master, Orange, these people are foreign payment gateways. So why should we pay commission to the foreign payment gateways for settlement of the transactions? So India developed India's own payment gateway called RuPay, which is developed by NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India. Now if you look at, whenever we talk about ATMs nowadays, so on ATM card, CVV number, OTP, on time password, some magnetic strip will be there, card verification voucher number. If you want to use your ATM card, you should tell OTP, on time password. So you should enter the details, card details. Now one current affairs is there. That's the reason why I'm explaining ATM, which might be expected in the exam. That current affairs topic is tokenization of the cards. This is expected question. What's meaning of this tokenization of ATM cards? So doing online shopping, Meesho, Amazon, Flipkart. So let's say she stored her ATM card details in Amazon. Whenever she is purchasing or doing the shopping in online in Amazon, directly card details are saved by the Amazon. Her number, her name, date of birth, details on the card. But RBI said, if customers do not want to disclose their original personal details in online shopping and e-commerce, they can opt for tokenization. What is the meaning of tokenization? If you opt for tokenization, what would happen? For that Amazon, for that Uber, for that Rapido, your personal name, date of birth, details, card details will not be disclosed. The tokenized virtual ID only will be disclosed. Meaning your personal details of your name, so your date of birth will not be disclosed whenever you buy and sell if you opt for tokenization. So what is the advantage of tokenization? Because now financial data is sold to others at free of cost or sometimes for commission basis. So to ensure your own privacy and secrecy and safety, you can opt for tokenization. Is it compulsory? No, it is voluntary for the consumer. Suppose I am using Rapido. For payments, I linked my ATM card. So Rapido knows who am I, what is my name, which bank I am having a bank account, how much balance is there, Rapido knows. So Rapido can sell my information to somebody else. But instead, I am opting for tokenization. Then in Rapido, whenever I make payment, my ATM card detail will not be disclosed. One virtual ID only will be disclosed. Like masking of the Aadhaar card, we call it as. Masking of the Aadhaar card. What do you mean of masking of the Aadhaar card? Exactly. So a person or a consumer do not want to disclose original personal details to the third payment or aggregator. They can opt for something called tokenization. So RBI said it's not compulsory. If customers are willing to accept, very simple. You can tokenize whenever you want. Whenever you want to unblock also, you can unblock. It is your choice only. So what is the advantage of it? Observe carefully those who are doing online shopping, Meesho, Amazon. Whenever you do some shopping, automatically it is going to the regular payment method. Which means Amazon knows your details from which card you are paying regularly. See, only one time you entered, but every time directly it is going to the same. What does it mean? Your financial details are stored with them. That's the meaning of it. I don't want to store it. I want only virtual ID. I can opt for tokenization of the cards, both for debit card also, credit card also. It is our choice. It's not compulsory. It is voluntary for the consumers. Why cyber frauds are increasing? Duplicate cards are produced. Cloning of the cards is done. That's the reason why RBI is coming up with a solution to it, which is called as tokenization. What is cloning of the card? When you go to a petrol bunk, you swipe the card. So you just thought that transaction is over. But whatever PIN number that was entered was also stored on the screen in a special mechanism. A PIN is attached to the swiping machine. Your card details are stored. Somebody produced a duplicate card without your knowledge. So to avoid this, now what I am saying, tokenization, which means they don't know who I am. They don't know my name. They don't know my personal details. So tokenization is providing more safety and security in the transaction compared to use of the cards. That's the reason why RBI said it is not compulsory. It is only voluntary. So understood what is the meaning of tokenization? So it's like you are not telling your original name in a social media account. Why you don't want to tell your original identity? Safety, security, privacy, for whatever reasons. Exactly in a banking and financial transactions also, you can opt for tokenization. Meaning you don't tell your personal details, just do the transaction. That's all. That's called as tokenization. Probably you might expect. And there are some hybrid cards. Sir, what is this hybrid cards? It's called as bingo cards. So debit card was different, credit card was different, but now banks are coming up with hybrid combination of the same card which would work as debit card as well as credit card, which are called as bingo cards, hybrid cards, which means same card only you can use as debit card also, credit card also to the pre-decided limit. No need to have separate. Why, sir? Because banking services are now becoming so popular. A person who has debit card may also is interested in credit card. So hybrid cards or bingo cards are those cards. The same card would work as both debit card as well as credit card. That's why they are called as hybrid bingo. So this is the basic function of the bank, in which we are talking about types of ATMs, bank and NBFC. Clarity is important. In ATM, just now I covered current affairs topic called tokenization, and a new virtual debit card also is available now. Physical debit card is not required. Virtual debit card is also available, because you need not have the physical card to swipe. You can tap and pay. Tap and pay is also available now. Of course, so many scams are happening. If you enable tap and pay on your card, I need not touch your card physically. Within the radius, if I scan, I can pay. Tap and pay. Online, e-commerce. Now, international debit card, domestic debit card. Whenever you are going out for foreign trips, if you want to do shopping there, you have to pay. International debit cards. Of course, now almost all the banks are offering. You can enable it. You can enable the transactions here itself. So this is called as types of ATM cards. So probably if you look at banking trends also are there probably. So what are the banking trends, sir? So trends in banking, when we say green channel banking, so offshore banking, so recent doorstep banking, different types of banking. That's called as trends in banking. So probably we'll try to cover trends in banking and types of banks, loans and advances tomorrow. So whenever we start, so after completing banking, then we'll go to taxation, fiscal policy, budgeting. So in banking, if you're thorough with the concept, 100% your answer will be correct. No ambiguity at all. You just know the answer, don't know the answer. That's all. Because if you have studied it holistically, you will be able to get the answer. You just need to know the correct meaning of the term. So because Basel norms, repeated question again, CAR, repeated question again, types of assets, NPA, substandard, doubtful, bad asset, repeated question again, insolvency, bankruptcy code, bad bank, haircut, write off, waive off, twin balance sheet problem, so NPA crisis, and because of current affairs is there, one nation, one RRB, one state, one RRB, consolidation of RRBs. Apart from that, so reforms in banking sector, bank employees are asking for 5 days a week. They're asking for 5 days a week work. Indian Bank Association is asking. So offshore banking, then amalgamation of the banks is a current affairs, because different banks are merged and finally we want to have some major big banks. Then regular repeated prelims question is GSIB, DSIB, domestic systematically important bank, globally systematically important bank. Luckily none of the Indian bank is under GSIB list. 3 banks are classified as DSIB. Previous year question. SBI, ICICI, HDFC. So this is all orientation of the banking chapter. And Indra Dhanush was asked. Indradhanush was in the news, which is related to banking sector reforms. 7 steps, A, B, C, D, F, G. So capital adequacy. Then who is responsible for selecting top level executives in private sector bank? Respective board of directors. Public sector banks, bank board bureau. FSIB, Financial Service Information Bureau. BBB is replaced by FSIB. Current affairs is FSIB replaced BBB. Earlier, BBB was responsible for selecting top level executives in public sector banks. That is replaced by FSIB, Financial Service Information Bureau. In private bank, respective board of directors would select. So finally, all is approved by whom? RBI. Then RBI functions also are asked. Bankers bank. So lender of last resort, custodian of forex reserves. So agent to government. Then regarding printing also questions are asked. Printing of money, minting of money, sole authority of currency notes, sole authority of coins, sole authority of circulation, all this. So we'll see. Probably we'll finish banking tomorrow, then we'll go to taxation, fiscal policy, budgeting. Okay. So probably tomorrow, just remind me, we have to cover trends in banking before we go to types of deposits. We will cover trends and payment and settlement systems. After that, we'll go to types of deposits, types of banks actually. Types of banks is high yielding area for prelims. Small finance bank, payment bank difference, developmental, commercial, cooperative RRB, scheduled, non-scheduled, Indian bank, foreign bank, and PSL targets also asked in the prelims. Priority sector lending targets. Bank branches above 20, bank branches less than 20, total target, sub targets, all. So from banking chapter, these are high yielding areas for prelims. So probably in current affairs, whenever you are reading, any specific banking terminology comes, you should know. Something called lazy banking in the news. Lazy banking, shadow banking, merchant discount rate. So some current affairs related to banking services also are in the news. Then banking ombudsman, integrated banking ombudsman in the news. So what you have to do? Look at last 1 year economy current affairs. In that any current affairs they relate to the specific chapter, you should be able to link to the static. Like after banking gets completed, last 1 year economy current affairs you are doing, any banking current affairs to that chapter. Last 1 year current affairs when you are reading, don't go for subject wise, don't go for overall, go for subject wise current affairs. You will get even more clarity. Like read economy, read last 1 year economy current affairs. Read polity, last 1 year polity current affairs. You will get even the link also. Static current. When you read, repeated themes will be there. From that questions are definitely going to come. Okay. So probably we'll see tomorrow. We'll complete banking, then we'll go to taxation, fiscal policy, budgeting.